Well, earlier this month, Australia's unemployment figure jumped over 6% as thousands of workers found themselves without a job. In an effort to help people get back into the workforce, Generation Australia has launched a 12-week program to reskill, train and fast-track participants back to work. Joining me is founder and COO of Generation Australia, Malcolm Kins. Malcolm, welcome. Tell me more about the program.
Yeah, look, Generation Australia was founded with a mission to transform education to employment systems to prepare, place and support people into life-changing careers. And we've launched two programs now, Disability Support Worker Program and coming up a Web Development Program. And it's really exciting. We've worked very closely with employers to understand what they need from people to enter the workforce and designed a curriculum to specifically address that. And over 12 weeks, we'll be preparing people to enter a career in web development.
And a particular focus on addressing barriers to employment?
Yeah, absolutely. We work around the world with people who face significant barriers to employment and prepare them to enter roles, but not just about preparing them with the technical skills, but also the behaviours and mindsets that are going to set them up for success.
Because the last few months, obviously, the world has changed enormously, and the new normal, once we are beyond the whole COVID-19 world, is going to look very different, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the whole mission of Generation around the world has doubled, if not tripled. And the absolute challenge is to help support people getting back into the workforce and into roles which are going to offer us a sustainable career, not just a job for the short term.
What are some of the jobs or industries that you see starting to phase out? And obviously the area that it's going to pick up completely is in that whole technological computer space.
Yeah, absolutely. We've done a lot of studies looking into pre-COVID and also the challenges post-COVID. We certainly see some industries like travel and tourism, hospitality, which while they'll recover to some extent, a number of those jobs won't come back in the short term. Whereas in the digital IT space, we certainly see most companies really amping up their efforts in that area. So programs like web development, but also things like UI, UX, digital customer support, digital marketing. They're all opportunities for people to enter new careers. And alongside that, certainly in the healthcare sector and support sector, areas like aged care, disability support work are also industries which will continue to grow and will need a really skilled workforce.
Tell us more about your organisation, how long you've been going, and are you a national organisation?
Yeah, so Generation was founded in 2015 and is now active in 13 countries. In Generation Australia, more recently in mid-2019, we launched our first program in disability support work. And we continue to expand and amplify our impact. Obviously, our mission has increased incredibly in the last few months, and we'll be looking to offer support for people around Australia looking to enter into new careers and support them in doing so.
How much has the demand lifted from your perspective?
Well, to put it into context, normally we would expect around 100 applicants to enter into a cohort of 20. We've had to shift and move most of our services online. We're now receiving thousands of applicants for each cohort, and even lifting our capacity to 50 per cohort. We're having to run extra cohorts to even get close to meeting the demand. Obviously, the one thing we want to be absolutely certain of is that we're setting people up and moving them into jobs. So we're keeping a really close eye on the employment market, and we'll support people into the jobs and really amplify our efforts as those jobs come back on.
What about people watching this program this morning who have lost their job, who are in transition? How can they get involved?
Look, first of all, I think there's a thought process on their own part, which is actually thinking about where do they actually want to transition to, thinking about and understanding where your motivations are. This is a real opportunity to reset and re-engage into the workforce, into a career that you're really passionate about. Secondly, I think it's about finding the best provider that can support you into that. Certainly, we're offering programs in web development, disability support work, and looking to expand our portfolio to support people into other industries. But there are other providers, and I think it's really incumbent on the sector to really support people into work and ensure that any programs really understand the demand side from the employer, build programs to meet that demand, and then support people into work. So I just really encourage people to think about the end result and getting into work and making sure that the program that you're enrolling to supports you in doing that.
Look, we can't carry crystal balls with us. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, let alone in months' time. But in the area you're working in, are you holding an air of positivity going forward?
Look, I am. I think there's some really great opportunities for the sector to transform and work together to really help solve this crisis and set ourselves up for the future to really support trading. Because while we're obviously got the crisis at the moment, this isn't something new. We've had a high number of unemployed people looking to get into the workforce that need support. So this is an opportunity to really restructure that. We're certainly thinking of how to actually create ecosystems to support people into the right skilling and into the right roles. And it's incumbent on everyone in the sector and the government to support that to really ensure that we get great outcomes for the whole of Australia.
And just finally, for young people watching, that's the key point here, isn't it? It doesn't matter what skill you pick up, that skill at some point will become important. So all the skills that you pick up as you progress through life, and some of those jobs you might think are so mundane, or those moments in your life you think, why am I doing this? They can and will be valuable going forward.
Absolutely, a broad range of skills, and also the behaviours and mindsets that set you up in order to be successful in employment, into careers. Every single bit of experience that you can gain is helpful, and every skill that you can gain. I think in the short term, in terms of moving into employment, just ensuring that those skills align with jobs is incredibly important. But at the same time, don't stop learning. Keep learning and keep building those skills and setting yourself up for long-term success.
Malcolm, thanks for getting up early on a Sunday morning for us.
No problem at all. Thanks for making the time to speak to me.